Welcome to Module 2B, the present tense. The present tenses are generally used to indicate a state or action taking place in the present, that is, the current time being experienced by the speaker or the writer. There are a few nuances of the present tense that we will look at in more detail as we continue through the simple, the perfect, and the progressive present tense. Let's start with the simple present. The simple present tense is often used to state that something is the case currently at this point in time. The simple present tense has a few tricky nuances we should like to look at. First, the simple present tense is usually used when referring to states of being that exist in the present, while actions that are currently taking place in the present are expressed through the present progressive tense. Second, when actions are referred to in the simple present tense, it usually either highlights the habitual nature of the action, or else it is being used to refer to a live action reporting of a given event or action. So let's take a look at some examples of how each of these work. Here are some examples of the simple present tense being used of stative verbs, that is, verbs that convey states of being. So in the first example here, the man is tall. We have the verb is, stating at the present time the man is tall. While number 2 and 3 here, we see something a little bit different. He likes music, or she feels happy. These are also stative verbs. Stative verbs don't always use the word is to state that something is. Stative verbs also include things like thoughts and emotions or senses, like in this sense, he likes, or she feels this way. And so all these are stative verbs conveying the present reality of these states inside the emotions or the thought or the being of the individual. Here are some examples explaining the second way the simple present tense can be used, namely habitual actions. So let's look at these examples. Jake runs 2 miles every day. So this is something that he does in a habitual manner. Likewise, Fred mows lawns for the community. Once again, it's talking about a habit that he continually does. Or the students attend chapel on Monday. And so these habitual actions talk about actions that usually occur within a given time frame. Adverbial phrases or prepositional phrases can function to clarify this time frame. However, in the second example here with Fred, we don't actually have a specific time frame. However, this doesn't mean it's not habitual. This is actually common when it refers to habitual action that doesn't usually follow a consistent time frame, but happens periodically or randomly on a consistent basis. Lastly, we have live action reporting. Let's look at these 3 examples, and we'll look at a couple different ways that these end up getting used. First, race car number 5 takes the lead. In this instance, we have the present tense verb takes that initiates a vision of this race car suddenly taking the lead. Versus number 2 here. So we turn around and see a puppy sitting right there. Here we have 2 simple present tense verbs. We turn and we see. And the third one we have, he shoots, he scores. 2 simple present tense verbs being used to emphasize the 2 actions taking place. Now note, 1 and 3 are reporting a live action sporting event, race cars and basketball. This is very common. The using of the simple present tense really kind of compacts the action down in a way that's, in English, is how we convey vivid kind of reporting. Note number 2 here is technically talking about a past event. Now this is important to note because now we have 2 different ways of reporting past events. The regular past tense, or what we would call the historical present tense, which uses the simple present tense. Now as a writer, you must choose one or the other. And the problem we have is when we switch between them. So you have to stick to whichever one you choose. Some types of writing prefer we use the live action approach. It makes it more vivid, more relatable, almost like you were there. Other more sophisticated reporting styles would emphasize using the past tense because you want to be accurate to what actual time frame we're talking about. So whichever way you choose to do it, the emphasis I want to make today is be consistent in how you do it, or you will confuse your readers. Let's go ahead and look at the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense is used to refer to an action that is completed by the time or during the time of the present tense. But it can also be used to refer to an action started in the past that has continued up until the present tense time frame. The perfect present tense is formed by using the verb have or has, the present tense of those verbs, plus the past participle. Now, the past participle indicates that the action took place in past time, but the completion of that action happened, or the effects of it happened, at the present time frame. Just like how we saw in the past progressive, it is the auxiliary verb that carries the weight of telling us the time frame. The general focus of the perfect present tense is the state or the result of the action for the present time frame. But let's look at some examples to see how these work. In the first example here, we see, I have read the whole Bible. We see that the act of reading the Bible took place in past time, but we have come to the point, at least by the present time, where the Bible has been completed in its entirety. Likewise, in number 2, she has been to France. Note she isn't there right now. We're talking she has been in the past, but that past action leaves her in a state of being of having been to France. In number 3, they have learned Hebrew. Once again, this is something that happened in past time or was started in past time, that its effects are still present. They're in a current state of having learned Hebrew. They haven't forgotten, hopefully. They've learned it once, and there's something about them that has changed as a result. And the last one here, he has just finished his first marathon. In this case, we have some adverbs explaining the time frame. It's just happened, still in the past, but the effect of having run a marathon is in effect in the individual. And so in all these examples, we see the actions themselves took place in the past, but it's the completion of the action that leaves some kind of state of being that exists and is supposedly relevant to the current present time frame. Lastly, we have the present progressive. The present progressive, as mentioned previously, is the tense primarily used to refer to actions happening during the present time frame. The present progressive tense is formed by using the present tense of the auxiliary verb be, which is or are, and adding the present participle. Similar to how the past progressive worked, we see the auxiliary verb indicates the time frame while the main verb indicates the type of the action, namely this progressive ongoing action. The present progressive indicates what is currently happening during the time of speaking and writing. So let's look at some examples of how these work. So first up we see, she is running a marathon. Unlike our previous example where he had just finished his marathon, we see that she is currently in the act of running the marathon. Likewise, they are studying for the test indicates they're currently in that action of studying, and that this is something that they're going to continue to do until they're finished. And lastly, we see we are not fasting right now. In this case, it's a negative explaining what they are not doing currently, but it still has that present current time frame of what is or is not currently happening in the present time frame of the speaker and or the writer. As we have seen, the present tense has a few nuances, But what is important to keep in mind is that we are consistent with our verb tenses, especially when we use what we have called the historical present tense. Obviously, using the present tense properly will come with practice and observation. But ultimately, let's just keep in mind we have choices when we're writing, right? We can use the simple past tense to report an event as it happened, along with the past progressive and the perfect past tense to give some time frame clarifications, or we can use what we've called the present historical, or the historical present tense. Either way, you need to be consistent with your choices. But with practice, you can learn both and use both in different instances. Thank you so much for watching this short video on the present tense. Obviously, a lot of this is used in various ways, and it takes a lot of practice to really master the various uses we've gone over. But hopefully this video has been helpful in informing you and encouraging you to keep at it. And as always, feel free to leave some comments below if you have any questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.